Hello and welcome to this product face-off. We have two contenders today, and they'll be competing for which one do I prefer, for any reason. I make this up as I go. We have two contenders, and they are both amps, although one is bigger than the other. Can you see which one is bigger? Point to the bigger one. Click the like button if you know which one is bigger. This one is the Champion 2 25 from Fender. This one is the Frontman 10G from Fender, 25 and 10. Now, I know it looks like I'm really strong and powerful in holding these things up because I'm big and beefy and bulky, but they actually aren't super heavy. This one is obviously slightly heavier, but it's not a major thing. If I put this one in front of the other, you can kind of see that the size difference is not massive. It has a little bit on the top and a little bit on the side, but I think these are not too drastic. Also, this one has a handle that's relatively short. My hand can barely fit in there. I have small hands, but still, it's relatively small. Both of them have, you know, the fake leather stuff, although I think this one is slightly nicer, to be honest. This one feels a little bit more like plasticky, and then this one is like softer. I don't know, maybe that's just me making things up. This one is the champion of the two. I think I'll get there eventually, but like this one has just a few different options. It has the input gain, you have the overdrive, volume, treble, bass, then you have the auxiliary and headphones, and then the power switch over there. This one is barely any bigger. It has a lot more to go, and as I'll show you in the comparison when I use the Fender guitar I have sitting off over the side, I do think this one sounds just a lot better. Let's see, the power switch is on the back too, because this is 70 watts. This is 28 watts. That's a huge difference. Now, obviously, they're differently priced. For example, this one, the Frontman 10G, came in with the Fender guitar by itself, along with everything else, in a pack. And I do have a video for that, so click the link if you see that to check out that video. This one is purchased by itself. That's because it's, you know, a larger sort of mid-range amp. But we're going to be comparing the two to see what the difference is, or at least hear what the difference is. Although ultimately, I will reveal my decision, which one is best, or which one do I like more. I like this one more. It's more expensive, but it has a nicer handle, it's bigger, it has a lot more power and a lot more options. But we might as well run through the gamut, and we'll give this one, this little hunky-dory thingy, a shot. It's small, it's you know, a lot cheaper, and it's more portable, but ultimately, I don't know, I think you could go for more portable options that have around the same quality of sound with the same, well, even with similar amounts of power in smaller packages than this. And for the price, if you're gonna go for like an average mid-size amp that you're just gonna want a lot of different options on, I think this one is probably a better suited option over this one. This one has effects. This one doesn't. I like that one just for this. All right, let's go through some simple ones. All right, I'm gonna get out the guitar, plug it in, and then we'll just play a couple notes on each of them so you can see that they both work and that I really did do my due diligence, and also to see if we can hear any major sound differences. I don't know how well that'll come through the mic, but trust me, it's actually somewhat significant, but let's see. All right, so we have with us the Fender Squier Stratocaster that I got in the pack with the Frontman 10G, which we have set up over here, plugged in. If you want to take a look at the Stratocaster, I really do like this matte black look, and we have the updated design with that curve at the end there, and the indentation on the inside. And we have all the customization we want back here. I think I've tuned it up relatively recently. That'll be fine. You can see the front there. We have all the knobs. We can switch between 5 different options for pickups. Anyway, we're gonna plug this in to the Frontman 10G. Now, this just gives you an idea for the, I suppose, quality of the package that comes all together, because this guitar comes with the Frontman 10G, so this quality goes with it, and you can see somewhat of the upgrade when we go to the Champion. All right, so we'll turn this on. We can already hear just a bit of background noise there. I'll put my mic close to it. I'm gonna check all the settings. We have all the knobs on the guitar to full. That's here. And we have gain set to 10, volume set to 3. So maybe changing the gain does nothing. Gain is set to 10, volume is at 3. Lowering that decreases the noise, but increasing it makes that louder, obviously. Now, these are the included wires. So unless I'm doing something wrong here, that's just a pretty high buzz. I'll turn the volume down. And that's not even with overdrive. That's with overdrive. So, okay. I'm not sure if I'd be able to handle that kind of volume with overdrive. That's just a ton of background noise. Now, I'll get to what this guitar sounds like next, but already that's not great. This didn't sound that bad in my opinion the last few times I used it, so this might just be like the position it's in, or maybe the wire is bent a certain way. I don't know really, but if it can sound like that, it's not gonna sound great during a performance. Let's turn the back on. We already have that really ton of noise. I don't know where that's coming from. That decreased, so it might be the pickup here, because it was on the first pickup setting. But there's still a ton of background noise. Anyway, let's hear a few notes. That's on 7. Let's lower that down to 4. Now it gets pretty loud. That's not bad, especially with the specific setting that this is in. Like if I go between them, you can hear how much the noise increases. So you can only use it on certain pickups, but otherwise, not awful. Let's try the Champion. Unplug that. We'll take this one down. I'll see if I can fit the larger one up here. So already ran into a little issue, not a huge issue, but the wire on the Champion is slightly shorter. So because I have to keep it plugged into the same outlet, I have to like keep it right at the edge, and the extender right there is the thing is like floating in midair because it's just barely connecting. Anyway, I'll plug this in here, and we're gonna turn it on with the switch in the back. On, and I'm not hearing any noise so far. I can get close. Let's see. Gain, put to 10. Volume, slowly increase. We are on 10. There's barely any noise, but I still hear it. All right, let's turn the volume down. We don't want to surprise ourselves. All right, let's switch back between different settings to see if we get that noise issue. That's so loud. Wow, even at 5. Let's change it to 3. That's more manageable. That's even, let's go all the way to volume 1. Oh, wait. 1. There we go. Nothing. 2. Interesting. In between 1 and 2, like the sound cuts out. 2, and it starts at pretty loud. So if you're just going for playing quietly in your room, this is not it. I suppose I can turn the gain down too, but I keep that at max. All right, but the volume is supposed to be able to change the volume, but it only makes it louder from this point on. But there's no noise. Like, not no, but you can hear the noise if I switch between them. Let's see. I do hear that little bit of noise there, but it's so minor. What does this one do? I never really found out what this one does. Holding it changes it. Are we on an effect right now? Of course we are. We're on modulation. I could put it to delay. This thing has effects, and I just find that already such a huge thing. You don't have to have like an extra pedal board. I mean, you could, but if we're going on the cheap, this is already doing a bunch of things. We're going to change it to reverb. We have the modify knob here, which increases the amount that the FX does. So reverb, we can increase the modify, so then let's change it to multi. Now we can't do a bunch of them in a row, but let's see, I like the modulation a lot. There's also the in-between. There's red, green, orange, and I think that's changed, and that's within one effect. So I think that's like different amounts per, but then, I don't know. Could change the voice from modern to British. This is changing the entire voice of the amp itself. We could change how much treble, how much bass, and switch it back to the quieter one. But there's a ton of different options on this. Just from changing the voice of the amp itself, like I can choose, what's it on right now? British. And then the guitar will sound totally different if we put it on the orange setting in modern, for example. And then we can also change the modify from modulation, let's say, to some reverb. Let's try the green setting in reverb. Maybe that's low. Nice, I don't know. So if we're just comparing these two amps, like, I don't even think they're even close to being, you know, the same. This has a ton of noise, doesn't have any of the extra options. Like, they're obviously not in the same weight class, like literally. 10G, 25, that one is 70 watts, this one is 28 watts. Like, not really comparing anything. Now, the guitar works fine with the larger one, but this is also one of the lower end guitars, and that came with the 10G. So, I think that's all I can say about these two. I just really like
the Champion one. If I were to use it at home, it would definitely be this one. If I were getting like a more mobile amp, even though this is pretty mobile with this giant handle, I still wouldn't go for the 10G. I might even go for a different one. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see y'all next time.